Congressman Michael Waltz is a member of the House Armed Services Committee, joins me now from the Hill. Let me first ask you about impeachment. We talked to you last week when you and a few of your colleagues had tried to get into that hearing. You're trying to make a point that the transparency was something you were concerned about. Does this new move by the Democrats help answer some of your concerns?
Well, I don't think we know yet, Dana. We don't know whether this new move is going to codify what's already going on with Pelosi and Schiff's committee. We don't know if it's going to address some of our concerns. We just don't know. I can tell you, talking to some of the Republican members in the hearing today, that they weren't allowed by Schiff to even question the witness that was there, the colonel that was there. In other cases, if they want to go back and read testimony, they have to have one of his staffers looking over their shoulder. So look, the bottom line is the rules heretofore are being made up by two people, Speaker Pelosi and Adam Schiff, and they are the farthest thing in this town from honest brokers when it comes to the president. I don't know that we can undo the damage that has already been done, even if they do address our basic concerns of having counsel present, being able to call your own witnesses, and having this be an open and transparent hearing. The other thing I found out last week, Dana, was all of the testimony is unclassified. There's no reason to have it down in that secure room except to control the information coming out. And I still haven't been allowed, as a sitting member of Congress, asking for 3 weeks now, following the rules, to see Kurt Volker's testimony from 3 weeks ago, which apparently painted a very different story. So I continue to be very concerned.
Do you feel some vindication, though, that the points that you were making last week seem to have forced the issue for at least the Speaker to change her mind?
Well, again, this isn't about us. I want to make that point loud and clear. This is about the nearly 1 million Floridians I represent and Americans all over the country who have questions about whether this is a fair process. So if they're moving in that direction, and I say if, then that's a good thing. But again, I don't know that we can undo the damage.
Well, we'll keep an eye on it. Of course, we'll keep talking to you as well. Let me also ask you, because before you were a congressman, you've done all sorts of things in your life, including serving our country. And at one point, you were detailed from the Pentagon over to the National Security Council. So for Colonel Vinland, who is the witness today, what do you think about the smears against him and his character? Is there a way to reasonably question his points without, smearing his character?
Yeah, look, I think there's too much smearing going on. What I'm trying to get at is the substance of what's being said, and I am rightly frustrated that I'm not allowed to have access to it. He is entitled to his opinion. He certainly brings expertise. Dana, you and I know there's all kinds of differing opinions about how a president approaches foreign policy. That's all over the National Security Council and all over the interagency. So he's certainly entitled to his opinion, but that's about it.
Just on the process of things, since you worked at the National Security Council, do you think that he followed the process? As far as we know, he was on the call, he had concerns, he took it to the General Counsel of the National Security Council. Does that all seem like the way it's supposed to be done?
Well, I think so. We are kind of in uncharted territory here, but what bothers me about the way Schiff is running this is the president can't have his counsel there to understand what's going on. And that is just a basic fairness issue.
Let me also ask you about Syria. We're going to get an update in just a moment. Of course, there's a wonderful story about the K-9 who helps. But I also wanted to ask you, you wrote a book called Warrior Diplomat. And I wonder what you think the next step is in terms of, is there a role for diplomacy going forward? We're going to get a lot of intel from this raid and the killing of Baghdadi. What next, though, on the diplomacy front?
Well, I think we already saw diplomacy at play here to engage the Syrians, the Turks, and the Russians and get them to basically step aside in terms of their sophisticated air defenses, and getting in to get in and get Baghdadi was a huge win for diplomacy. Right, that we didn't have to fight our way in to get him. But I think going forward, it's getting the international community engaged in the safe zone to keep the Kurds and the Turks apart. And I'm happy with where the president is ending up in keeping a presence in Syria to keep ISIS 2.0 from returning again. But this is a great day for America, a great day for freedom, and we all should be celebrating. And let's all take a pause from this partisan divide to celebrate this great victory. And Dana, I'm sure that Jasper would have gone after Baghdadi the same way that canine would have.
I know the bravery of our canines that are trained in the military, just incredible.
Yeah.
And I know that you relied on them for your safety as well in the field. Congressman Michael Waltz, a pleasure to have you. Thank you.
All right. Thanks so much, Dana.